first breaking news of the disappearance of Kyron Horman. The 7-year-old's dad is hurling shocking allegations against his estranged wife, Terry. Kyron Horman says she's been cheating on him with his high school friend. And Kane says Terry also planned to kidnap their 20-month-old daughter, Kiara. It's all part of a bizarre contempt of court motion. How do these stunning revelations impact the search for little Kyron? Michelle Sagona, give us the headlines on this. 1, 2, 3. Recap it quick.
Basically, what's going on here is that allegedly Terry Horman had a sexual relationship with one of Kyron Horman's childhood friends by the name of Michael Cook, which is stated in these papers. And just reading through, because there's a lot of information, Jane, it states in here that police have clarified with interviews with Mr. Cook, so it appears that they have in fact interviewed him and have obtained his cell phone and a lot of information and evidence to be able to support these particular claims in this paperwork, and have presented that to Kyron Horman. That's why this paperwork was issued, number one. Number two, that Terry Horman may be in violation of a restraining order by trying to reach out to her child, and also by sharing contents of the sealed restraining order with a party, possibly Michael Cook.
All right, Leslie, Michigan, your question or thought, ma'am?
Hi, Jane. One thing bothered me that Kyron's biological mother said on TV that she knew the stepmom a long time ago as being a liar. But if she had doubts about the stepmom, then why did she allow her to take care of her son for 7 years?
Well, that's an excellent question. Dr. Al Lippman?
Well, here's what I know about the case, though I'll tell you something. I think it's a superb question. And I also suspect that there's a lot that we don't know about the communication between the two of them over the period of time that Desiree was in Canada and Terry was here getting to know Kane and so forth. But we do know this. Desiree, Mike has said that she's passed a polygraph. While polygraphs have questionable admissibility, and we have to recognize that, nonetheless, it is somewhat supportive. Secondly, she had a severe kidney disorder, and so she was quite ill, and that prevented her at times from being able to take care of the child. Now, these are mitigating questions, but it still leaves the question of, you know, the two of them were interacting. I spoke with someone in Portland today who said they were interacting on Terry's Facebook page. There was some kind of relationship between the two of them, and so it does leave a question as to why she would leave her in Terry's care.
Okay, you answer the question. J.D. Weintraub, go ahead.
Sorry, she's still an ex-wife, and I'm sorry, but ex-wives, when something happens, you just have no idea what the real story is, and we can't pretend to know. But
you know, all generalizations, including this one, we really need to exercise caution about. There are specific facts here.
Let her make the comment, though.
My point is that really needs to be made about lack of cooperation is really important, and it bears on our Constitution from me. Because the people out there
lack of cooperation from
one at a time. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to bring out the big gavel. You know that what that looks like. Okay.
The court of public opinion is very different from the court of law, and we have to respect and understand that why somebody might not publicly comment has nothing to do with whether or not they committed a crime or didn't commit a crime. As a matter of fact, our courts say you can't even infer anything from the lack of cooperation. So let's be mindful and remember that our Constitution is the framework of our court system.
Okay, all right. Once you start talking about that, I agree. We all love the Constitution.
The problem with that response is that it does not address the other aspects of Terry's behavior. Why it is that, according to the authorities, not just according to rumor, she hired or attempted to hire a landscape gardener to kill her husband. Why it is that in any, hang on, this is now my response, that in any interview that we've seen, someone who loves her child, even her stepchild, rather than showing any remorse, any care, seems to be showing only an attempt to avoid all information. And thirdly, if this Cook information is true, a big if, was actually acting in a way that was remarkably, extraordinarily in her own interest.
I have to go back to Drew Finley. I really do not understand why police are doing nothing, considering everything that's come out. They've got to know that this is hitting the press. This is a public document. Are they under the gun now to do something, to take some action?
For what?
Well,
probable cause is a far cry from having evidence beyond a reasonable doubt.
Well, and you're not Drew Finley. Drew Finley.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, here's the deal. We're referring to a civilly crafted document by paid counsel to advocate for their client in a domestic dispute. What law enforcement is doing is undoubtedly they are looking for evidence, because we haven't talked about evidence yet. With due respect to everybody, we're doing a whole lot of generalizing from every standpoint here. But law enforcement is trying to make sure that there is integrity in the evidence that they seek. They're looking for forensic evidence. They're looking for witness interviews. And this is the Jack Bauer generation. There is videos of everything, and that's what they're doing. And they can care less about a lot of the subjects that we're talking about right now. And I bet you Mike is going to agree with that.
I'm going to agree with Drew. They're letting everything play out, Jane. There's no rush right now. I mean, is anyone in danger right now?
Well, we don't know.
Early on,
God willing, he's alive.
If you recall what the captain said during one of the press conferences, the community is not in danger. So they know more than what they're telling us.
I agree with Mike and Drew. And the only thing I would note is that law enforcement, once Kane filed the restraining order, put out pictures of her truck as flyers, and also, of course, included in the restraining order the information about the dog. So they are providing some information.
I promise you, panel, we are going to be back tomorrow. Viewers, we're going to stay on top of this. You know there's going to be a crazy development tomorrow. So we're going to be back here talking about this disappearance in the hopes of finding this child. Thank you, panel. Switching to another